from Adelitas Way, and we're at Popularity.
Can you briefly describe the music making process for the album? What was that like?
Very natural. I really didn't feel, a lot of artists get put, pressure on them for a second album, and I didn't really feel any of that. I think, we were coming off of a great start on the first record, and, it kind of just went right into the second album. The second record, we just went with a natural songwriting process. It was a lot of the band and a lot of just me and Dave Bassett sitting together and writing things I was going through in my life down on paper, and, we put it on a disc. So I really didn't feel that pressure. It really, by the time we were done, the record was sitting there. We wrote about 13 songs for the album, 11 made it, and then you have Homeschool Valedictorian.
The release of Homeschool Valedictorian is fast approaching. As the release gets closer, how does it feel? Does it get frustrating?
No, I'm anxious. I can't wait for everyone to hear the record. I mean, first and foremost, I think that we're excited for people to hear how much we've grown and what we're bringing to the table on this album. I feel like we've really stepped it up on this record, and we really are set the mark high. So I think when people pop this thing in, this is going to be one of the better rock albums of the year.
How would you say that your music has evolved since you first started playing together?
It's evolved massively. I mean, me as a songwriter, I've grown, more than I could imagine that I could. I just think from the whole process, it's very, very natural. Like I said, I was going through a lot of tough times in my life, and I wrote it down on paper, and the record came out the way it did. I think that I really didn't think too much. I didn't change a million choruses. I let the record go where it was going, and I really feel like I don't think it's just as much as us stepping up as it is us raising the bar as high as we raised it as well. Like, we really, really, really knew that we had to come out on our own on this record. We had to, not follow a pattern. We couldn't just come out and sound like everyone else. It's our time to break away. It's our time to, for people to hear a song by us and go, that's Adelitas Way. I want to be, it's time for us to play with the big boys. I don't want to be overshadowed and be seen as a new band and seen as, all that band's, a lesser version of this band. I want to be our band, and I want people to talk about us like they're talking about the top tier band.
Once a record was completed and you started to head out on the road, what was the thought process behind creating the set list for the live show? What did you want to bring to your live show?
Blowing people away. That's what it's all about. You got to make people walk out of the concert thinking, holy shit, man, I just got my face kicked in. And that's what we try to do with the live. Like, I literally go 100%. I leave everything out on the stage, and that's what our reputation is. I want people who are following us to realize they better bring their A game. You know what I mean? I want people to who are watching us to just be like, holy shit, man, that band, they come out here and they throw down. And that's what we do. That's the reputation we built. People know we throw down. I mean, we try to get the crowd going, and that's my goal is not worrying about what anybody's thinking except, walking out of there saying that was a kick-ass rock show and we had fun.
What is a quality that you admire most in the other band members?
I think the number one quality that I admire most in my entire group is that we're all friends, man. We're all easygoing. We're one of the only bands that I think that still hangs out with each other when we're off tour. And people get shocked by that. People come out to Las Vegas and they'll see me, Derek, and Trevor all out to dinner together, and they'll be like, "Did you guys hang out off the road?" And I'm like, "Yeah, these guys are like my best friends." So, we keep it. There's nothing. I think we're one of the only bands that has toured together for almost 4 years and still comes back home and hangs out with each other every day. Like when you see us at festivals, we're all together the entire day. We eat lunch together, we eat dinner together. We virtually do everything together, and that's what it's all about, man. Being on the road with your friends and having a good time. You can't let this experience pass you by with negativity. And we've dealt with that in the past, where people are ruining the moment. We're all lucky as hell to be here, fortunate to be able to do what we do for a living, and you can't have somebody dragging that experience down. Like you need 4 guys who are gonna live it up with you and cherish every moment like we do. We have fun. Like I said, in bands in the 70s and 80s, all those guys did was play music and have the time of their lives, and that's what we're trying to do.
A band is the sum of its parts, and if each individual went on their own and created music, it would obviously never be the same as the others. What influence does each of you have that the rest of the band doesn't, and where's the common ground?
Well, in our band, the songwriting process works a little different. I think if you're bringing personalities into I think our live show is more, it would be different, if the core of the group wasn't there. If me and Derek and Trevor and Keith weren't there, and Rob, like our lives should be different. As far as the songwriting process, I mean, I don't want to sound like a jerk, but I'm mainly in control of most of that process. The guys definitely give me their feedback, and I listen, but I really I like to write all the melodies and lyrics and some of the music, but I think that Trevor's drumming. You're not going to find a lot of drummers out there who are putting the fills in on songs he's doing. He's really creative with making bridges and just coming up with parts. So he thinks outside of the box. I think it's from a lot of his influences. He's influenced by System of a Down and Incubus and Stone Temple Pilots, and you can hear it in the music. So it brings a different. I'd say he's my right hand as far as getting in the studio and crafting the songs. And obviously Keith is an amazing songwriter as well. He's a great singer. He comes up with great guitar parts. But for the most part with the songwriting stuff, I like it to just come as natural as possible. I'll write a chorus in the middle of nowhere. I'll be walking in the mall and I'll come up with a chorus for a song if I'm feeling a certain way. So there's really no set process how you do it.
With the band's growing success and popularity, have the expectations and demands that you've placed upon yourself changed at all?
I mean, our expectations for us are high. I mean, I know that the business is changing drastically and the models are changing, but we're just trying to come out and do the best we can as far as making great songs for people and coming out and putting a live experience on that people walk away from. And I think we're doing that. I think if you look at the statistics, I mean, coming off our first record into the second record, more people really are starting to come in and know who we are. I mean, right now our new single, Sick, is one of the top-selling rock songs on iTunes. And I think it's the accumulation of all of our hard work that's getting us there. Like I never looked on the chart and saw Invincible, on the top of that chart, and now I see Stick there, and I think it's just all the hard work is finally starting to pay off. I know it's hard to get out there and get people to buy records, but I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to put a record out that people are going to buy.